Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what we have here for you today is the Geek Vape Eagle Tank. So let me start off by saying that Geek Vape sent me this for review, so it came directly from the manufacturer. However, on their website they don't sell the stuff direct. I wish they did. However, I get a lot of my stuff from GearBest, so I went ahead and provided a link in the description box below so you can take a look there. They have it pretty inexpensively. As a matter of fact, while I'm videotaping this, they got it on sale for 24 bucks. I don't know if it's still going to be 24 bucks by the time I get this posted tomorrow, which tomorrow is yesterday's today, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Finally, something different, because tanks, they've all sort of been the same-ish. You know, we all like the velocity build decks, and there hasn't been that much change, to be honest. However, this is something groundbreaking, something different, something exciting as far as tanks are concerned in the vaping world. Fancy this. You want fancy coils, right? You see all these people making all these fancy coils. However, you work, and making these coils is not your obsession. However, you do sort of wish you could have it. Well, what they've done here is they've taken let me grab this real quick. What GeekVape basically has taken is their Griffin 25, which has that velocity build deck on it. They took the build deck out and they put in these coil heads that are pre-built. They're not only pre-built, they're hand-built. And they're really cool. And you could get single or dual coil setups. You can see that this kit comes with two already in there. And we'll talk about these heads, but they're hand built with the organic cotton and different types of material like Canthol or stainless steel or whatever. So you just buy them. They're pretty cheap. You get two heads basically in one of these. They cost about 10 bucks for two, and you just screw them in, and now you're vaping just like the professional vaping geeks without all the work. However, if you do want to do all the work, then you could go ahead and get an Allen key and take that coil off and put another one. Which leads me to another thing, the advantage of having this coil. The advantage. There are some advantages. So let's go ahead and see what those advantages are. Well, looking at the heads themselves right there, we could actually pull one of these hand-built coil heads out. What would be the advantage of getting something like this over building it? Well, you don't have to build it, and it's pretty hard to build these coils, especially if you've never done it before, and if you don't have a drill and you don't have all the gear to do it. But the advantages is you could re-wick it. It's big enough. You could go ahead and take that wick out and put your own in if it starts going bad or gets burnt or whatnot. While you have that wick out, you could go ahead and light that thing up and burn off all that nastiness and basically clean your coil. Can't really do that with a little built coil head, but you could do it with this. And you know what? You're definitely, I don't see how you can't have a superior vaping experience with something like this. So let's take a look at what you get with the kit. I'm going to pop these in real quick just so I can show you. You get a hand-built stainless steel coil, single coil right there with whatever pattern that is. Maybe a staple, I'm not sure, because my eyesight sucks because I'm old. And you get a hand-built, two basically. You get a dual coil setup right there. Really nice. And again, it looks like Allen keys. You could probably remove the coil and put your own on there if you want. We have an extra tank, and inside there you have all kinds of O-rings if you want to change the color up to match your your APV, you can. Look at that. That's important. I need to change my notes because I didn't notice this. That is an adapter because the Delrin Drip Tip is one of those big bore guys, and when you pull it out, a regular 510 drip tip's not going to fit. But guess what? They provided an adapter so you could use your own 510 drip tip. Look at all those extra O-rings. So you got a lot of extra stuff here. It's always good to have an extra glass, silicon glass tank. And of course, we get the tank itself. I'm going to go ahead, before I pop this in, look. 2 O-rings. I love it when they do that with these drip tips and it fits in really tight and it doesn't rock. I hate it when you get a loose fitting drip tip, and this one is super tight, rock solid, no rocking. So getting into the tank a little bit more, these come in black or white. They also come with or without that top airflow. Now of course you could get them on with the top airflow and just close it off, which I would recommend, so you have the option to do both. But I personally never use the top airflow because that just robs flavor, in my opinion. You still have the bottom airflow adjustable right down here. You have a 6 milliliter capacity tank. That's glass. The rest is all stainless steel. You have a 510 drip tip. So very ordinary. It looks like you have juice flow control, even though they don't say it, but I'll show you why I think it does. Now, to put in one of the hand built coils, HBC is what Geek Vape calls them, you just merely unscrew the base. You can see there's nothing there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Griffin 25. If I did the same thing, here's a Griffin 25, looks exactly the same. However, when you disassemble one of these, you're greeted with a velocity style setup there. See? This one has the little adapter to make it a single coil, which I'm going to review this. GearBest sent me this, so I have to review this real soon. But getting back to what Geek Vape sent me directly, so I want to put a coil in there, and you can see that there's the 510 pin, and it does adjust. You can see me pushing that out a little bit, so it can adjust for whatever you put in there. So we're going to put a head in. Now you could either put one of the 2 heads that are included, or if you purchase some heads, this is sort of how they come. Like here's one called Caterpillar Track. You can see it says KA, which is Canthal 0.4 ohms, recommended wattage there, and it's single coil. So let's take a gander at how these come. Huh, it's not single coil. Did I maybe swap these out and put the wrong thing in there? So there we go. Take a look at that. Whoops. Let's see. Huh, I got something else in here. So I'm confused. So I might have stuck the wrong ones in the wrong thing. Let me see what's in this one. Yeah, I might have mixed them up. I might have stuck one in the other, but that's alright. So anyway, so what this one... Whoops, I'm just dropping stuff all over the place. Sorry, Geek Vape. One is a flat Clapton. So that's the flat Clapton. And the one that I dropped on the floor is the Caterpillar Tracks. Look at that. And there are many, many more. You can buy all different kinds of these. Again, they run about $10. You get 2. Just take a look at all the different styles of hand-built coils you could get. While I pick all this stuff up off the floor. Crap. Alright. Okay, you back? Good. Alright, so here's your head. And instead of having to make your coil, all you simply have to do is take it and screw it. Screw it. So we're going to screw that in there. Okay. Screw that in there. Screw, screw, screw. And that's it. You're ready to go. Ready to go. So they recommend 40 to 70 watts. So I need to make sure that we set that to somewhere in there. Gonna shake this guy up. And we'll be vaping today Plantana, which is a banana milkshake flavor from Johnson Creek. And we're going to go ahead and prime the coil. Sorry this is going to be a long video, but you know what? We weren't doing anything anyway. Some people use me as just background chatter to relax. They say that I'm sort of have a relaxing voice because I'm a boring person. And that's fine. If you want to use it for that, go right ahead. You're not hurting my feelings. So what we're doing here is priming the coil. And what that's doing is it's preventing you from taking your first draw off this and the cotton not having juice in it, and then you're burning the cotton, and then forever from that point it's going to taste like burnt cotton until you change your wick. So that's the importance of priming your coil. So you want to do that. By the way, this tank came super clean, no oil residue, no machining left over. Really good build quality. I'm pretty impressed by how well this is all built. Alright, screw, screw, screw. Make sure those holes are open. See? Juice. You get one open, they're all open. And we'll go ahead and put it on top of whatever device. In this case, I'm putting it on top of a 150 watt disguiser, which I'm currently testing. Made by Movkin. They sent me this to review directly, so we will be doing a video on it soon. And I have, just to get sidetracked a little bit, I have the internal extension and just mounting it outside so we could just sort of watch what's going on here, since the video's about the tank, right? Alright, so simple to fill up. Again, how many milliliters does this guy hold? Correct, 6 milliliters. You were listening, so you get a A. How about that? You get an A. You know what, I didn't close off the juice holes, so oh well. That's fine. Wow, she does hold a lot of juice. That is a good thing. You can see how many times I'm grabbing juice there and filling her up. I know. Not too exciting. Alright, close her up. So just grab the top here and screw that. Now, I need to set a voltage to this, and it said I think between 40 and 70. Make sure those juice holes are open. Make sure it's tight. Got my airflow wide open. And I got my top airflow closed because I like flavor. I don't care much about how much vapor I'm producing. It's not important to me. So I'm going to go ahead and pump this up to 55. And it says ohms is 0.18. Let you take a look at that. So let's go topside and see how well she vapes. Almost forgot to point out the dimensions of this tank. With the included Delrin Drip Tip, it is 58.5 millimeters high, and the diameter is 25 millimeters. Hello! Alright, so we're trying 55 watts, which is sort of in the middle of its range first. Again, dual coil, so my expectations are high. So let's try her out. Very good. Very good. Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and do is set it to 70 watts, which is the maximum range recommended by GeekVape for this particular hand-built coil. So we're looking at 0.17 ohms. Now it's reading. at 3.44 volts, 70 watts. And let's see what this baby can do. That's a serious cloud. Wow. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the top airflow just to see with maximum air. So this should be the absolute best configuration now for max vapor. Wow. Now just for fun, I got my disguiser here. I want to see what happens if I try to fit it inside. So what I have to do is put in the adapter so I can use a 510 drip tip, and it just gets squeezed in there just barely. Just barely. Go ahead and pop that in there. Again, always make sure that your juice holes are aligned to be open, because whenever you're screwing this on and off, it's very easy to get those closed. And make sure your airflow is open. I'm going to go ahead and grab the drip tip that you're supposed to use with this guy, just like that. Close it up, and it fits in the disguiser. Check that out. Still at 70 watts inside the disguiser. Let's see how it vapes inside. Man, that's a sweet setup. I'm not experiencing any spit back at all on this, and I have it at the maximum 70 watts, so that's a good thing. I mean, you heard it crackle, but nothing came back up in my mouth, so that's good. Man, that's good. This might be my everyday tank. I'm liking it a lot. So if you like the Griffin and you don't want to do the work, get the Eagle. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber. And if you want to see what my shirt says, right there. Nope, not today. But you know what? When we're here together vaping, it's yes. It's yes. And I appreciate you watching my channel, commenting. Don't forget to like. Thumbs up, please. It helps my channel out. And then I can bring you all these cool products. And we could share in the experience of trying all the new innovative gear that's out there, because you know what, all those new regulations are going to stifle things. So if you're thinking about getting stuff, you should get it now, because there's no telling. Hopefully we can fight to keep our vaping rights, our freedom. It's important. It seems like every day more and more regulation is just making life difficult. So it's the golden age of vaping, but it might not last much longer. So to be on the safe side, if you were thinking about getting some products, now is the time, just in case. Okay, take care. Bye.